But right now we're talking with Sara Nodjoumi and Schauder about their film, The Iran Job, which, if you've been listening, focuses on a sort. He's from North Carolina or Georgia, I forget. Where's Kevin from?
U.S. Virgin Islands.
U.S. Virgin Islands. Yeah. I beg your pardon.
And he played college at Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay. So I'm sorry, Kevin, if you are listening to that, my bad. And he is in most ways, as even far back as when I saw the film, maybe 6 months ago or something like that. He's definitely a very memorable guy, and he's always seemed very, very unaware of the camera, or either that or he's really good at just sort of, really comfortable, because there were some intense things going on with his life during that time. I mean, in terms of just the complete cultural shock, the culture shock, right? That was obviously the crux of the film. Do you want to talk about Kevin a bit and maybe like what that's been like, and maybe even since? And has he seen the film yet? And Sarah, you want to
Sure.
talk about it?
I just it took such a long time to find Kevin, and when we first had this first Skype interview with him, it was like, oh my God, do we actually have a chance with this guy? And he until went to Iran because he was so funny.
He was
just so
right. You were just glad, excited,
just natural, and he had no agenda. He wasn't like, oh, I want to go to Iran and make peace. Not at all. He said, I'm going to Iran. I have a job to do. I'm basically hired to play basketball there, and that was. We didn't want to make this sort of follow the do-gooder film and see what he does. We just wanted to find someone who naturally has this ability to kind of bring people together. And I think we were really, really lucky to find Kevin. And his personality and his openness was the reason why he attracted so many interesting people into his own life, which is why we were able to capture Till was able to capture so many interesting characters in the film.
Sure.
And that's just testament to his charisma and his openness.
And I think she's totally on the money. What attracted me to him right away is the fact that he does not censor himself. He's not somebody who tries to say the right things. He's just being himself, and that's exactly what you need for a film like that.
Right, and it's why it works. And people can see right through it. Usually, anyway, if somebody's kind of playing for the camera, or if you're trying to shape it in some non-organic way.
What he does is he's an equal opportunity guy in terms of making fun of people or dishing it out to both sides. He's not whitewashing Iran, even though he has a fantastic experience with the Iranian people. He's very aware of what goes on in that country politically, and in the same way, he's very nuanced about his impression of America. So, I know that for a fact that some of these Americans, they go over there and they tell Iranians everything is ice cream in America and we are so lucky. But Kevin is not like that. He would tell them, look, things are not easy in the States either for everybody. And so that's what I liked about him, is that he had no agenda and he would just speak his mind, whatever was on his mind. And there's usually a lot on his mind.
Thank goodness.
Exactly. And also his own transformation as a person from when he first started, before he went to Iran, and his own impression of the world and his worldview, the way that actually changed was great. That really helped our story because it really happened. He really did go through this.
I find a lot of documentaries are so driven by the concept and the agenda, if you will, that they lose sight of the entertainment value. And the entertainment value is in seeing somebody, first of all, as charismatic as you said, but also who goes through a change and who evolves, and you see it right before your eyes. So it works. It's an very entertaining story.
Yesterday, somebody interviewed us from the Tehran Bureau, which is a news site here, and they asked us what we think makes the film different from other documentaries, and the short answer is simply, frankly, Kevin. And I used to play basketball myself, so I took a lot of cues from how to deal with him a little bit, because he's a basketball player. And one thing that I remember, I think Isaiah Thomas once said that if you have a player who's on the role and you're the coach, and in many ways as a director you are a bit of a coach, don't do anything, just let them roll. And that's kind of the approach I took with Kevin, because he was just often on a roll and he has this natural flow, and all you had to do really was to try to be there as much as possible. And so I think all of the credit goes to him. And you were asking us about the press attention. It's been doing this Kickstarter campaign, and that's been another thing, is that we've been stunned at how many news organizations have contacted us. We don't have a publicist, at least not yet. And yet, during the first week of the campaign, we were approached by somebody from the Huffington Post, and then she wrote the first very beautiful piece, and then a few days later from CNN, and they were just so curious about Kevin's story. And then when the CNN piece came out, that just really put it in a different arena. And since then, we're just kind of cruising and really happy about the interest, and extremely, extremely grateful to our supporters.
Well, thank you for adding BBox Radio among the various media outlets. And we're talking to Sara Nodjoumi and Schauder, my guests today at Filmwax Radio. They're about finished making their film. Is this the first film you guys have made together, at least feature?
It's the first feature documentary we've made together.
Okay.
It's also the first film that we've made together from start to finish. We've worked on other films before, but usually Sarah came on a little later. But this one is really something that we've conceived of right from the get-go. So
it's our third child.
That's right. When we started, we had no children. Now we have 2.
So they're obviously both under the age of 2007.
The older one is 4, yeah.
Yeah. That's
4 and 2.
Oftentimes for filmmakers, documentary filmmakers, it's great to get the good reviews. Of course, it's very gratifying considering all the work, and audience approval is also extremely gratifying. But there's nothing that compares to the subject's endorsement, the film. So I was wondering, has Kevin seen any versions yet of the film, and what was his sort of response?
Actually, in our case, getting Kevin's response was even more crucial on many levels, because he had never signed a release form for the first 2 years or so. And so we were working away on this film for 2 years and didn't have a signed release form. And at some point, Sarah said, either you get this release form signed by him or I'm going to divorce you, because we're not putting in all this work and then have a guy turn around and say... Pull the plug on us, yeah. And he didn't sign it because he's a smart guy. He kind of wanted to see what this is all about. And I always had this trust that eventually he'll come around and see it. But I was very scared to show him footage, to be honest with you. And for various reasons, I didn't know how much he'd be comfortable, expressing his political views and other ideas that he has about life, as well as other issues. And so it's only like a year and a half after I shot with him that we sent him a little sample, like 5 minutes or so. And I was really sweating very hard. And luckily he sent an email back immediately and said, I love this. And then the conversation about the release became much easier. But then we invited him to come to Brooklyn and actually see a rough cut, which was in a much worse state than what you screened. It was really a very, very early screening, and that was...
It was so fun to watch the film with him, because
he was very vocal.
He was
emotionally...
He was just totally... Like, he even said afterwards that he had stepped out from being Kevin Sheppard and thought he was just watching some movie.
That's amazing.
That he just really...
Out-of-body kind of thing.
Out-of-body experience that he just really... enjoyed, and that was just fun.
High praise, yeah.
And he signed the release form. That was
wow.
That was very good for all.
Hence you're still being married. So just last question. We have a big event coming up tomorrow night.
Yeah, it's a Kickstarter
in Dumbo.
Fundraiser / celebration party in Dumbo, hosted by these super cool brothers, Farhad and Ali Baba Atai, and it's on 81 Pearl Street. we're asking for a $25 contribution at the door, or you can make your Kickstarter pledge, and we're gonna have the Kickstarter page on the wall, and then we're gonna.
So there'll be like a live stream.
Live stream. And
live ticker.
Live ticker. And there's going to be drinks every time there's a new backer. So.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, there'll be...
Did I say I was coming?
There'll be drinks and some food and stuff like that, but also we'll show a new clip from the film that nobody has seen before, and we might also have a surprise guest. Wink. Wink.
Okay. Well... I, as I said, I will be there, so I don't know if it's going to be a surprise. But I'm sorry. Narcissism is such an ugly trait. But thank you guys, Sara Nodjoumi and Schauder, for coming on today. I'm glad we were able to make this work, and I wish nothing but the best for you guys. I think it's going to have a very positive, run, I think it'll be a festival hit. I think it's good things are in store for you guys. So I'm glad to be there. I wanted to see it unfolding.
Thank you so much for all of your support, Adam.
Yeah.
And thanks for having us on the show.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. So thank you guys. And any website or anything? Or I know it's under construction.
Oh, so go to Kickstarter.com and type in the Iran Job, and you'll get to see a trailer and read about it.
Thanks for bringing that, because we only have 4 more days. So the sooner you do that, the better.
Monday. Yes, if you're listening, Monday is the last day.
Right.
But you can come and meet Sara until tomorrow at 8 o'clock in Dumbo. Again, just say the address.
81 Pearl Street.
81 Pearl Street in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Okay, great, guys. Thanks very much.